I bet like me, you're really busy, and the thought of decorating for autumn, while you really want to do it and you want to add those autumn touches to your home, it can sometimes just be a bit overwhelming because you just can't find the time to do it. So I've got a little bit of time. I want to get on with my autumn decorating. What I thought I would show you today is just how easy it can be. That it doesn't need to be overwhelming. You don't need to haul everything out and create a big mess while you're doing it. Just with some simple switches, some simple swapping out of the decor that we've got in place with a couple of autumn accents, we can really transform the space and really create that kind of cozy autumn ambience in our space that we are going for. So come on, let's decorate together. I'll show you some simple swap outs and just how easy it can be. I've just pulled together what I've got. Some throws here. Not sure if those colours are right because they came from old sort of decor that we had, so I'm not sure if they're going to work out, but I've pulled them out anyway. I've got 3 boxes of sort of autumn decor. The bottom one has bigger pumpkins in it, so it's not like crammed full, and then some smaller things in these 2. And then I've got a couple of buckets here with some autumn stems. I'm not actually sure what's in that bag, but there's autumn stems poking out, so I've pulled that together. So here's how this unit is just now. We've got a lamp here, just a couple of decor pieces, and that's a candle at the end there. And then I had put these stems in when I kind of did a bit of a light autumn refresh. I think that was right back end of August, beginning of September. They're almost like faux kind of corn stalks. So, just a couple of very easy switch outs. I quite like what's going on here with this little vignette, this little arrangement here. I like the colour of this plant pot and this kind of faux stem here. It's starting to bring in those kind of cozy autumn vibes. This was all here as part of the kind of transitional rather end of summer into autumn decor, where I went for the more neutrals and the more kind of creams, but started to bring some autumn, sort of autumnal colour in. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch this kind of object out here, and I'm going to replace it just with these 2 little white ceramic pumpkins, one here and just one like that side there. And then the next thing I'm going to switch out is this candle. I could easily replace it just with an autumnal scent, kind of autumnal colour candle. But honestly, in this space, I never light it. I'm just a bit concerned with it being below these kind of dried faux stems. So I'm going to take the candle out altogether, and I'm going to replace it with this amber glass pumpkin. So pop that in there. And hopefully the amber glass will kind of pull the colour from the plant pot together, and that'll work well. And height-wise, it's just a little bit smaller than this piece here, and that's what you want when you're putting together a little vignette like this. You want kind of varying heights. One little finishing touch. When I picked up these stems, I managed to pick these ones up as well. They're a very, very similar texture, just much shorter, but much more of the kind of autumnal colour palette, the traditional more kind of reds and oranges going on. So again, just to pull together the colour of the amber glass and the plant pot, I am going to just leave everything as it is, but I'm just going to add in a couple of these kind of colour stems to here, as I say, just to pull this colour together. So all I'm going to do here is carefully remove this long stalk in the middle, because I quite like the way that this sits. I quite like the pom-poms and this sort of honesty trailing. Quite like the way that that hangs and works in this space. So I'm just going to take away the center one. I'm just going to replace it with some other kind of autumn stems that I already had. I think these work quite well because they're not too heavy. They kind of go with the sort of skeletal style, if you like, of what's in there already, but just bringing again some of those more traditional autumnal colours in there. It might need a bit more tweaking, but you get the idea. And then I've also just got a couple more of the same stem as I put in the other one, which in the same space it's just over there, so it'll kind of pull it together, just having touches of the same thing here and there. So again, I'm just going to dot these in here. Again, like I say, it might just need a little bit more tweaking, but you get the idea. Yeah, so just a little bit of a change up, pulling those colours, those richer colours in. Okay, next is this little kind of coffee table tree decor that I've got going on, and I had switched this out, as I say, the kind of early fall transition. So we've got slight fall colours, slight autumn colours going on, but again, it's in those kind of creamy end of summer kind of colour palette. And again, super simple. I've got this little gathering of items. I'm going to take out this candle holder here, and I'm literally going to replace it with this one, which is just a more autumn vibe one going on, kind of copper colour with the little tea light holder in there. So let me just pop tea light in, and then these little decor balls, all I'm going to do, so I'm going to replace these little ones here, the three littlest ones I'm going to take out, and I'm going to pop these little kind of white velvety pumpkins in. And I'm hoping that the stock colour here, and they're just little inexpensive velvet, and it's just a kind of plastic top, but the colour kind of pulls in the copper colour. So yeah, I'm just going to pop these in here and just sit those in there. And that's it, just to kind of bring in the pumpkin theme. And I'm going to leave this in place because I think it works. So this side table here, I had added a little touch of autumn decor in my kind of early decorating, just a little touch of the season there, but we still have greenery in the background here. So let's just refresh this corner here. The first thing I'm going to do is just take the greenery away. So let's remove that. And in its place, I'm going to put just a plain tall glass vase, and then just pop some plain stems in. I picked these ones up in the range. So I've got 4 stems here. So I'm just going to pop those in. And then the next thing I'm going to switch out is, even although this is still kind of autumnal colours, I feel that it doesn't really go with this colour now. So let's take this little stem out. And then I'm just going to pop these ones in place. There we go. And then the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pop this kind of wicker pumpkin down on the end here. Probably just move everything just along slightly. And when you're creating these little vignettes, it is good to have kind of an odd number of things, and your eye will read. So it's going to read the lamp as 1, this will be 2, this will be 3, this will be 4, and this will be 5. Previously, I didn't have this here, and arguably the books could read individually, so it's still giving you 5. So that could be 2, 3, 4, 5. But I think I'm just going to add in this little wicker pumpkin. And again, varying heights gives you that kind of nice, pleasing vignette to the eye. So just super simple, couple of switch outs, and we've completely refreshed that little corner. Okay, and one more switch out I'm going to do in this corner, and I hope you can see it okay because I am aware I'm kind of shooting into the light. It's not ideal, but I've had this kind of creamy cotton feel throw here over the armchair throughout the summer. And what I realised was that I have these gorgeous mohair throws that used to go with our room when it was decorated in different colours. But actually, I think it goes really well with the colour palette that I've got going on here now, with the kind of maroon wine colour, and obviously the kind of tan goes with the chair and the table and things. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out this cotton throw for this more autumnal colour palette, cosy vibe, and I think that works really well in here. So next spot is going to be the console table in the lounge. I had added just a little touch of the autumn colour when I was refreshing at the end of summer, but we still have the green stems, and I think they are definitely the first thing that I am going to swap out. And then in their place, I'm going to put these stems. Now, they are a nice kind of autumnal colour. Works really well with the dark charcoal wall. The colour kind of really pops against it, I think. So I think that's going to work in there. Now remember, when you're working with faux stems, they've always got wires in them, so you can just bend them. When I first put those in, they were all kind of facing up the way, and I couldn't work out what was wrong. But once I started to bend the stems out, then it just looked so much better. The composition looked so much better. So yeah, just completely, you know, bend your stems into whatever shape you want them to be. So the next thing I'm going to switch out is I'm going to take this vase away altogether, I think. So let's take that, and I'm going to move the books into the middle. And either side of the books, I'm going to put a couple of wicker pumpkins. And I want these to kind of look a bit like bookends. So we'll just reposition everything slightly. And then what I want to do is I want to add something down here that's going to balance out this colour. And I have a couple of these leaves on stalks. So all I'm going to do is poke them in the end here. Oops, my microphone died there. So what I was saying was, I just want to sort of poke them. They're literally on stalks, and all I did was poke them in behind there just to sort of lay them flat on the table. And then at this end of the table, I think I'm going to add a candle, and I've got two options. I've got this kind of amber coloured one here, or I've also got this one that says pumpkin season. And if you've been inspired to do a bit more decorating, then you're definitely going to want to take a look at this video here where I transform my tiny little porch for autumn. And hopefully I've been able to let you see that with some minor tweaks and switch outs. It doesn't have to be a big production. You can really get your space ready for the autumn season ahead and really get that cozy fall ambience that we all crave at this time of year.